Hello everyone, today I'm going to solo Scholomance on a level 70 Retribution Paladin. The gear that I use is mainly PvP items such as Brutal and Guardian pieces. I like to use PvP items because they provide a lot of intellect and crit, and whenever I crit with a melee attack, then my next Flash of Light or Exorcism will also be instant. So when you combine this with a high mana pool, well then you can also continue to go without too much downtime where you have to drink or eat. The add-on that I use to the right is called Kiwi Farm. This will indicate the amount of raw gold we can expect to make every single hour. It will also show the total amount of gold that I've looted so far, and at the top you can see when I started the session. Alright, so when I jump down here and I start killing these enemies, then I always make sure that I move when I'm about to kill some of them. The reason for this is because when you kill some of these, a small gas cloud will also appear, and if you stand in this, you will take a heavy amount of damage. So an easy way to save time is simply to spread them, and the moment you have to loot the first enemies that you killed, well then the gas cloud will also have disappeared. Another thing I recommend you to do is to make sure you cleanse yourself from the different diseases and poisons. In this room that I'm about to leave, there's also a limited boss only available during the Scourge invasion. The name of this boss is Lord Blackwood. I would recommend you to always make sure you pull this skeleton boss, because it has a high chance of dropping a one-hand weapon that renders for more than 5 gold. There isn't really anything you need to know about this boss, just make sure to nuke it. However, an important thing about this dungeon is that a lot of the targets in Scholomance are undead targets. This allows you to use your spell Holy Wrath, and this will do a high amount of AoE damage and also stun the targets. So make sure to for example use it in the room that I'm in right now, but also when you jump down in the beginning of the dungeon. In fact, there are so many different locations in the dungeon where you can use it, so make sure to use it whenever you have the opportunity. This will allow you to kill the enemies a lot faster and therefore also make even more gold. Another thing I like to do at this location is to use either my Lay on Hands or my Bubble. I'm pulling so many enemies here that it's going to be important to use your cooldowns, else you'll most likely end up dying. When you're fighting this boss, it's also important you stun it to avoid the illusions it spawns. An easy way to do this is to use your Holy Wrath or Hammer of Justice. This will save you a lot of time where you don't need to kill the illusions and therefore also increase the gold that you make. What you might also notice is at the top right corner I'm hit by different diseases, and these are stacking together, eventually doing a lot of damage every time they tick, so make sure to cleanse yourself at this location. Right here it's also so important to always make sure you right click on this torch. By doing this you will unlock a chest, and in this chest there will always be 2 green items. An easy way to get some additional mana, so you don't have to spend time drinking, is simply just to use your Judgment of Wisdom all the time. You can for example also do this on the different critters in the dungeon, or for example on these skeletons when you're moving to the next location. As a paladin you have Hand of Reckoning, and this is a ranged taunt ability. It also does a bit of damage, and I like to use this whenever I have to pull enemies. That way I avoid having to run too far, because I can now pull these further away. For the next minute there isn't really anything important to tell you. Therefore I will add in some music, and then whenever I get to the next important thing I will also add this into the timeline. In the beginning when we jump down, there's also been some respawns. This is because after around 6 minutes these creatures will respawn, so now we can take advantage of this and kill them twice. Earlier in the video I also right clicked on a torch, and the torch that we right clicked on has simply unlocked a chest that we can loot. This chest is right here, and it always contains 2 green items. So if you don't right click on the torch, well then you're also going to lose a lot of gold every single hour. Alright, so now you're also ready to move on. In the next room there isn't really going to be anything specifically, and it's important you don't attack these. These enemies doesn't drop anything, so it's important just to go on and move into the next room that I do right here. At the far back, there will be yet another boss, and this is always important to kill as it will drop a minimum of 2 items. When you're fighting this, you can also drag it all the way back to the entrance of the room. By doing this, you can also kill other enemies at the same time. And in this clip, I'm for some reason so lucky to also get the epic item. Sadly, this is only worth vendor price because this item is bind on pickup. Nonetheless, it was kind of fun to find a rare item. Alright, so when you have taken care of these enemies, you're now also ready to run back to the room with the enemies you were not supposed to kill. And in this room, there will be yet another gate that we can open. When you get into the headmaster's study, there will be 6 different rooms. Usually I just start with the rooms at the top. In each of these rooms there will be a boss, and you need to make sure you kill all of them. When you have taken care of all the 6 rooms, there will also spawn a boss in the middle of headmaster's study. I'll add in some music when I'm clearing these rooms, and at the end of the video I'll show you the final boss, the total amount of gold that I've made, but also an easy way to repair and vendor. Alright, so now we have also taken care of all the different rooms, and in the middle the final boss has spawned. Usually when I'm fighting Dark Master Gantling, then I also have my cooldown for this fight. This allows me to burst him down easily, but also skip the teleporting phase. Else he will once in a while try to teleport you into a room, and in this room there will be a few ads, and these you have to kill. So by using all your cooldowns in this fight, then you can most likely skip this phase and save a lot of time. So by clearing Scholomance, I got almost 84 gold in 15 minutes. This is also equal to 330 raw gold every single hour. But I will of course have to repair and vendor and even reset the dungeon, so it's more likely to be 300 gold every single hour. The good thing is that right outside the dungeon you can talk to this NPC and get a quest. This will lead up to a small quest chain that you can do probably by running Scholomance once. When you complete the final quest, you will also get a trinket, and this trinket will allow you to see an NPC, and at this NPC you can vendor and repair your gear. I hope you found this guide useful, and if you're mainly interested in gold making and other things related to Wrath of the Lich King, then make sure to check out the channel. You can also subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified the next time I post a gold making video. But as always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace.